Welcome back to Evola Finland, and this is a continuation to our CTEK Battery Sense experiment. Uh, Last time we showed you how to install the unit on the car, and we already told you that the problem with the CTEK device is actually the app. So whenever you need to extract the information from the CTEK unit, you need to reinstall the app every time. And that's exactly what we had to do. So we just confirmed it with a 1 week experiment. But nevertheless, the recording function works really well. It has been relatively cold now, so we have been just monitoring, and the car has been driven a few times. But based on our experiments, the 12-volt system doesn't actually charge in the CTEK. It doesn't charge at all when the car is standing still. So there is no automated top-up function in the CTEK. You can find that on some EVs, but not on the CTEK. So the CTEK only charges the 12-volt battery when the main power is on, meaning that you turn the key on in the car, or you are charging using the charging port of the car, meaning AC or CCS. Then the time that it's on charge, it will also be charging the 12-volt battery. Now on the CTEK, when you look at the charts, the 100% on this scale in the CTEK IV, that means or equals 15 volts. So everything is in relation to that 15 volts being a 100%. The voltage actually drops really low in the winter in our CTEK, and it's not only a problem in this car. We have seen this on other cars also, not just electric cars. So the modern so-called smart chargers in the cars, they keep the storage level in the 12-volt battery really low. It's like you don't really even see 100% full battery anymore at all. And the problem with that is that when you use the car in colder climates, like here in Finland or anywhere in the Scandinavia or in Canada or whatever, the voltage level of the battery is so low that when the temperature drops during the night, for instance, into -25, and the battery is like at 50%, you are risking of freezing the battery. So what to do to avoid that? One way to avoid that is if you have home charging, if you have the ability to charge the car at home, then it's not a problem at all, because when the car is charging, it's also charging the 12-volt battery. But if you don't, like we do, we don't have home charging ability, it becomes a problem, because the car might be standing on our parking lot for a few days without driving, and if you don't have any way of raising the battery voltage during that time, then it becomes a problem. It can freeze the battery, and that can be an issue. Of course, this is not a bigger issue than, for instance, in the ICE cars, because the petrol and diesel cars, of course, they only charge the battery when the engine is running. So basically, these type of EVs like the CTEK that are basically converted from a petrol car by the factory, so the same car is used and the same principles are applied. They somehow seem to think that it's okay if the auxiliary functions in the car, they work in the same way as in the ICE cars. But in my opinion, because they can control the 12-volt charging, they should be programming it in a way that it has an automatic top-up function. There's like really no excuse for it. They should change the programming in the car. But anyway, back into the CTEK. Like I said, the 12 volt dropped really low during the time of recording. So we have about 1 week's worth of recording here. And you can see clearly that the voltage is dropping when the car is not driven at all. And driving the car, so when you take like a half an hour trip, or in our case it was like maybe 45 minutes of driving, the battery does not charge. So it's like really a small amount of power that you get into the battery, and that is a big problem in the winter. So in the winter I recommend charging the car even in slow AC every now and then, just to top up the battery, the 12 volt battery, or using an external battery charger. Just like a normal ICE car, if you have low battery voltage, you use a conventional battery charger. You can do that also on the electric car, and it is recommended if you can't put the car on charging from an AC socket. So just to keep it safe, the voltage level safe. But basically that's it. Our short experiment proved that the actual device, the CTEK CTX Batter Sense device, it works. It does record. It does everything it's supposed to be doing it, and it does it relatively well. The problem is the app. So my message to CTEK chargers is that fix the app. Fix the freaking app. I mean, if your app is doing so many things wrong and it's not responding, or I haven't seen any phone or any platform where it works well. The only phone that I haven't tried, an iPhone. So if it works on an iPhone, then okay, but then it would be a good option only to iPhone users. And last time I heard, the world is Android. There's far more Android phones in the world than iPhones, so you should fix the app. But anyway, our experiment was successful, and based on this, I'm reasonably happy with the device. So we will be keeping it in the car. We will be using it to monitor, we will continue to monitor the voltage level so that we can see how low it actually goes and how high it goes every now and then. So yeah, relatively good experiment. So keep following us, and also in Twitter, and hope you guys enjoyed this, and we'll see you later.